Hello, everybody. This is Tom Fry. I am the team leader of Cardano4Seniors. We are a group of individuals that are trying to build a platform for senior education on the Cardano blockchain. We were funded in the recent Fund 8 on Project Catalyst on Cardano. And we've been meeting and developing our platform for a couple of months now, but this is our first recorded meeting. And we don't have all of our team members with us, but we do have 5 of us. And I'd like to take the time for them to introduce themselves as we go forward. So again, I'm Tom Fry. I am a farmer. I'm a senior, and I have experience in risk management and senior advisement regarding financials and wealth management. Gus, you are the second icon on my screen, so why don't you introduce yourself? And I'm just going to go by the pictures on my screen.
Okay, my name is Gus Odeberg Quigley. I'm originally from Aruba. And my specialty is new product development and market development, and also art. Okay, I've been painting for many decades now. I got my paintings on the website, and hopefully I'll contribute a lot of NFTs and logos and artwork for the Cardano4Seniors. And that's basically it.
Okay, beautiful. And Kevin, you're the next icon, and thank you, Gustavo, for that. Kevin, you're the next icon on mine, so why don't you introduce ourselves? And I believe you're the only non-senior right now on our team.
That's right. I am the token millennial on this team. I also happen to be a former financial advisor. My roots go back to being registered Series 7, Series 66, a lot of sales experience. I've also experienced opening my own businesses over the years. As I said, I'm the young guy on the team, just trying to keep everyone rooted into everything. Most important, of course. And looking forward to bringing Cardano to all the seniors out there in the world.
Kevin, could you just explain a little bit about your recent experience at Consensus 22, because as you said, you know, young people, and whether we do an internship for young people, but you had a pretty good experience, I think, at Consensus 22. And if you could explain that, what it is, who you met, and what your takeaway was, I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to step back a bit because I got into crypto probably a little bit earlier than most of the others in the room here. And earlier on, it was a very isolationist movement. If you had to do a lot of research yourself. You had to do it all yourself. By going to Consensus, it sort of shined a light on the fact that there's a large community here. Okay, and it gave a sort of physical anchor to everything I've been doing virtually lately. I got to meet other companies that were doing, things lining up next to me. I got to meet the team leaders. I got to meet Charles Hoskinson, the gentleman who invented Cardano. And it was sort of surreal because generally you don't see, gentlemen of his stature sort of directing a show the way he did, bringing on board the rest of the community and establishing a vertical integration, from the launch of the next hard fork, which we'll probably get into later. But I think what really impressed me was the way everyone in the Cardano ecosystem was brought together. Okay. And I mean, the show is impressive itself, but the contacts you made to help you get through what's a very new platform, a new type of currency, and to help you navigate it, shark-infested waters, was something that I thought Charles Hoskinson and the IO team did extremely well to sort of calm those waters and show everyone there that, hey, we've got your back. Tell us what you need, and we'll help you navigate this entire thing.
No, that's a great takeaway, and it's also the first time I have been in Austin, Texas, and I was impressed with the number of food trucks that were on the streets, just food trucks all over the place, the music scene, and the 110-degree weather. It was just beautiful. And as you can see, Kevin has a free merch a hat and merch shirt on that came from the Consensus 2022. But thanks for that insight. Next, Marco, you are the next icon on my screen. So if you could explain or introduce yourself to the world and tell them. Are you a senior even? Are you old enough to be a senior?
Thank you, and hello. My name is Marco DiCarlo. Yes, a Gen Xer, Tom. Trying and being new to the crypto community. I bring to the table some entrepreneurship, primarily in the hospitality industry, and marketing and sales are certainly in my background and my history. Certainly a team player and would like to join.
Okay, beautiful. And Marco is also multilingual, as is Gustavo. So even though I poorly speak English, the only language I know, Marco, I believe, speaks at least two, Italian being a almost native language. And I don't know if you speak Brazilian because of that, or is that just a total guess?
Let's just stick with English and Italian.
Okay, and Gustavo, I think might be the most multilingual person on the team. He speaks Papiamento, Spanish, Dutch, and anything else?
A little bit of Portuguese.
A little bit of Portuguese, okay. So we're growing this team. We're looking for new members of all ages, demographics. We're an inclusive community, and the next person is currently the only woman that's on our team, and Teresa, or T as we call her. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell the community a little bit about yourselves?
Yep, my name's Teresa Fry. I have a background in information technology, philosophy, and ethics. I also am auditing courses in Coursera on machine learning. I spent a lot of time in the hospitality business also, and I look forward to being on the team.
And you're also, we're going to talk a little bit, and that kind of brings us almost right into our agenda for today. Teresa, who is my baby sister, but lives in a different state than I am. She loves learning. So when we put this proposal together, T and I worked on it, and it really comes from my background in risk management and her background in learning things. And we're trying to build a platform to educate seniors around the world about cryptology, cryptocurrencies, not cryptology, cryptocurrencies, DeFi, and specifically the Cardano ecosystem, with a total emphasis on risk management. So when we set this up, and we did get funded in Fund 8, and we're working towards more funding in Fund 9, one of the things, the strong part of our platform in bringing in this global demographic of almost 2 billion seniors was we were going to research how seniors learn. And one of the things that T learned is seniors learn differently. And there's a TED talk that was referenced in our proposal demonstrating just how differently seniors learn. And I think, Teresa, one of the images that was planted, and I don't remember if it was in the TED Talk, but seniors' minds are like a filled hard drive, almost filled. It's packed with information over, I'm 67, so I have 67 years worth of information packed into my brain. For me to absorb new material, it has to be focused. Was that one of the things that you learned in there, T?
No, I think that was probably your TED Talk, but
Okay.
and it I think that feeds into like seniors don't want to be taught, but they want to learn.
Okay.
So don't need like you have to memorize this information kind of thing.
Okay, good. Oh, that's interesting. But you are also taking now, based on the funding, you're taking a couple of different courses and programs and ways of learning, and you're starting to consolidate. And I think some of the courses that you're taking, if I recall correctly, is with Knowles and how adults are learning. Is that one of them?
That is Malcolm Knowles and
Okay.
how adults learn.
Okay, and that's one of the learning platforms, and the other one was Kolb's. Was it that experiential learning? Did I say
Yes.
that right?
Right, and different adults have different on Kolb's circle of learning. They have different ways that they will jump into a learning experience, and you just have to ask the right things or present the information in a certain way to see where an adult will jump in the learning world.
Okay, so that's another one of the platforms that you're studying. And then there was instruction design, ADDIE instructional design.
There's different ways of designing programs or information. There's the ADDIE design, there's the Dick and Carry design, and the backward understanding by design.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just finding the correct one to put to our platform.
Okay, or combination thereof, and then some other things such as the TED Talk. And it was also, I think, the one that caught me the most, because we're going to start doing these YouTube channels, and it was rapid e-learning, short modules, and I kind of took it to be like when I was younger, we learned with flashcards. Is that what that rapid e-learning program is about?
In essential, yeah, if you want to boil it down to that. But yes, it's really small, short little modules of learning that are engaging.
Okay,
3 to 5
so
minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
And then afterwards, you have like maybe a short survey or short questionnaire, like very small, to see did they get that concept.
Damn, a test after the learning module? Is that what you're telling me? I got to take it.
You have to try to make it not like a test.
Oh, okay. Okay. So a questionnaire, whatever, there's something just to, I guess it's a feedback loop of some sort.
Absolutely.
Okay. So out of this, what T has proposed, I mean, she's, because of her background in technology and the other life experiences. And oh, by the way, T, I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm your brother and I know how old you are, but do you identify as a senior?
No, not yet. I'm the most oldest Gen X.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So out of this, T has come up with I guess it's going to be our hypothesis of learning that we're going to put out on the web or in one of these YouTube things. And the initial name for it, and we want to find out if anybody's offended by it. I'm 67. I got a gray beard, a little bit of gray hair. Is the learning module is going to be called Gray Hair. And one of the things that we're looking at is it's geriatric research, education yielding, and then we get into what it yields. That's what the hair part is about. So as we develop this, we will probably have a program just on that, and we'll put it out on our website. Do you want to add anything into that, Teresa?
Well, I'm not so sure about the geriatric term.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, yeah,
You know, I'm going to jump in here, and I guess this is my financial advisor background. You know, we used to have rules about who you could sell to, who you could educate about certain products. Geriatrics would be a definite no-no. Okay, so that sort of sends a chill up my spine. Like, you know, there, Gus, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You know, I know cryptocurrency isn't the same thing. You know, stocks and cryptocurrency are two completely different atmospheres, but I don't think we want to go that way. And if we do have older people like that, I'd almost say a more immersive protocol would be required.
so maybe we need to change the hypothesis name and drop the whole gray hair thing then.
I can find another G word for you.
You know, I mean, we can find out a thesaurus name for getratic.
Well,
So-
geriatric, I mean, what does geriatric mean?
In my mind, without looking it up, it means old people or seniors.
Okay, so for me, and maybe this is a more youthful perspective, geriatric is a medical term.
Right.
Okay, a medical term for people who are beginning, I don't want to say fall apart because that might be offensive, but their bodies, their minds are starting to rebel against them. Okay, and again, going back to my stockbroker days, before I would ever sell a stock to somebody, I would go through a line of questioning to make sure they understand it. And there's a firm age cutoff.
Okay.
So how do we responsibly, okay, because I'm not advocating for an age cutoff. This is a currency. This isn't necessarily an asset class like stocks, but how do we responsibly educate people who are beginning a decline in the eyes of the SEC?
Ah, okay. Okay, so what are those rules for the SEC, which most cryptocurrency or DeFi is not under the guise of SEC yet?
No,
and
it's
that's
not.
one of the reasons Cardano is being proactive, I believe, is to educate. So.
Right. And I think we have to be the same way. I mean, again, going back to my days, I would have arguments with my managers over not selling stocks to people I didn't feel grasped the asset class. Okay. And that's my own moral code because, let's say there's a 70, 75-year-old cutoff. Well, that's not it. There's a mental acuity to understanding certain investments. And if you start probing and you don't get it, how do you know somebody doesn't have Alzheimer's?
Right.
Okay. We don't know where everyone's going to be, which is where I think Teresa nailed it on the head with the questionnaire at the end, testing background, and wrapping around a feedback loop. All right. So we can build safety protocols into these testing questionnaires that will let us know when certain users are struggling.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And Kevin, you're absolutely correct. And Teresa, we're going to have to drop the word geriatric. Okay. According to the dictionary, it's relating to old people, especially with regard to their health care.
Exactly.
So Kevin, yeah, you nailed that one. And,
Yeah.
Our target market currently is 2 billion seniors globally. And the seniors are identified as 55 plus. So that's not necessarily geriatric as we use the term. and in the next 10 years, that 2 billion market is, the UN predicts that it's going to double. So in 10 years, 2032, we're going to have 4 billion seniors. And our platform, what we're looking to do is develop this platform to educate them with risk management in mind. So I think we have to table this one. Teresa, you're right on track with our proposal for the research. We just have to come up with another name for it. Okay. Does everybody agree with that one now?
I agree.
I agree. We have to drop it to a working title for the moment.
Right.
Okay.
Which is
And-
a great moniker, though. You know?
Yeah, while it lasted for all 10 minutes.
Well, it's not out of the park. It's just a retooling of where we're trying to go.
Yeah, but other people can throw out some things too. I mean,
Yeah. You know, the other thing I want to say is getting back to the fact that we're looking at an explosion of the demographic over the next 10 years is onboarding people who aren't yet seniors. Okay. Getting them ready for that next stage in their life as far as a new digital class goes. Okay. You know, one of the things in any investment, retirement planning is diversification. Okay. Now, years ago, there was no cryptocurrency. I mean, it's taken a long time to get there, but I think it's important to at least give people who are approaching seniority a bit of information so that they understand, hey, here's a new place to park your money. Okay. This is what's going on over the last few years. This is what's going on with different platforms. Help them to mitigate the risks between the different platforms. You know, I'm not going to lie to anyone here. There are some that behave in more risky manners. Okay.
Yeah,
you know, right. I mean, we have identified Cardano as the cryptocurrency of our choice. Okay. And I think we need to explain why.
We'll get into that. That's certainly going to be one of the YouTube segments that we'll do in the future. But you know, I feel, and you may feel the same way, and the others on the team, but I feel Cardano is the safest blockchain out there. That's my feeling, and that's based on my research. And my DYOR is one of the first acronyms seniors have to learn if they don't know it. Everybody here knows what DYOR means. I believe. Do your own research. So I interrupted you, Kevin. I apologize.
No, I think that was a very poignant segue. Everyone needs to look into things themselves. We're just going to help provide information.
Correct.
And we're going to be there to answer questions.
Yes.
Hey, Kevin,
Go ahead, Gus.
Are you alluding to the fact that not only we're going to be explaining DeFi, cryptocurrency, or any other financial investment risk management to 55 and older, but also 40 and older?
Yeah, and again, it might be my background. I'm not saying 40. I'm not giving a hard cutoff on anything. I don't think an exclusive platform fosters growth. Okay, so I'm not saying exclude anyone. I'm not saying go after anyone. Right. But I do think we have to formulate certain modules to help people who are approaching being seniors, who are approaching retirement, right. To help them understand how they can benefit from this in their later years. But we have to do it in a way that they can stay safe. Okay.
Well, already doing it with 55 and older.
Well, that's a start. I think that's a good start. Yeah. I mean, Marco, what do you think? Should we be all inclusive? I mean, Gus, Marco, T, I think we should be all inclusive, but do we have a cutoff where we say, hey, we can't educate you, or too old or too young? You know, as Kevin said, if the SEC said someone was 75 and they're too old, that only gives me 5-6 more years I can be in this realm then, I guess. Huh?
Well, I mean, if we stick to Eli 65, you know, we can explain, you know, for everybody.
What's Eli 65, Gus?
Explain it like I am 65. Okay.
And what is that to us? Why don't you explain to
Well,
everybody what ELI
it-
65 is?
The simpler way to explain anything from risk management to finance, cryptocurrencies, DeFi, whatever, to the seniors segment.
So ELI 65 that Gus just brought up is part of the proposal we put in. We're coming out based on Teresa's research. We're coming out with a language for seniors, whatever age that is, 55, 45. I don't think it matters, but it's a kind of a rip off of the Reddit language everybody probably knows, ELI 5. Explain it like I'm 5. We ripped it off and we're repositing it as a language for seniors, ELI 65. Explain it like I'm 65. And we're going to tie that in with our research platform to create a risk management educational tool and learning language for seniors worldwide. Eventually, we'll translate it to many other languages. And there's more to come. There's more that we'll explain about this grant and this proposal. But we're getting on towards 45 minutes, and I'd like to keep this 40 minutes. I think I'd like to keep this to no more than an hour, which is pretty long for YouTube. So let's move on from gray hair or whatever it's going to become, and we'll go on to the next item on our agenda, which is formation of a not-for-profit. And we started discussing this at our last meeting. And I think we need to bring it up and finalize what we're going to do for the foundation. Anyone, Marco, you want to tackle that one, lead off on that, or Gus or Kevin or T?
Yeah, there's a few different ways we can go this route. Obviously, entity formation is crucial from the get-go here. Okay, so we got to form the non-for-profit. We have to form a foundation. We have to form LLCs. We can do it ourselves through a lawyer. Okay, there are third parties that specialize in compliance we can also approach. Okay, it kind of depends on what we're looking for. I have a meeting next week at 2 with a third party compliance trading company to sort of talk over what they can do for it. It would be powerful to have a lawyer on our side, sort of help us navigate these waters, but crypto is such a new thing. Everyone's trying to figure out, how do you safely establish the right entity?
Hey, listen, Hoskins established the foundation, Cardano, to be the umbrella of all other subsidies. I mean, all other companies. And he controls everything through the foundation. I think the foundation is the right way to go.
It certainly is a good way to go, and we should be so lucky to get to that size. But I think you're right, hitting the nail on the head there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I did, when we were down at Consensus, talk to some of the Cardano Foundation people, and I don't know that Hoskinson's has any real direct interaction with the foundation per se. He's with IO, and I think they kind of do their own things, and the foundation is independent. But what I did pick up is, with this world of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization, which is what I think we're heading towards, there is a way of mitigating some of the team members' liabilities by creating the foundation to absorb some of the legal liability. So I think it behooves us to form a not-for-profit, an NGO, is what I think the term is, non-governmental organization. So by a show of hands or voice, is that the direction we want to take? Do we want to form a foundation, a not-for-profit foundation?
I'm just going to jump in here real quick.
Please.
You know, the first thing I started about was protecting seniors. How can we protect seniors if we don't protect ourselves?
Right.
Well put. Well put. And I am a senior. I need protection. Gustavo, you need protection.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
well put. And Marco doesn't identify as a senior yet, nor T. Or do you identify, Marco?
I do not identify as a senior.
Okay. Oldest millennial, I think you said, or was that Teresa said that?
Well, I'll let
Gen
Teresa-
Xer.
Gen X.
Gen X.
Hey, I'm the token millennial here.
Oh, you're the millennial. Okay. Yeah, these, these acronyms. Okay. So to the world, to people watching this, we obviously are pretty inclusive. We have all different identities here, but we all need protection. So coming back to Team Vote, what say ye on forming a not-for-profit organization?
I'll second it.
I'll
Okay,
second it.
all,
Yeah.
all in favor?
all in favor.
Okay. Teresa gave a thumbs up on the screen. Now, next question. Do we want to call it Cardano for Seniors? Or do we want to call it Eli 65 as a
We can go
foundation? Or do we have other suggestions?
We can go both ways.
I think we need a more web comprehensive title. Because
Okay.
I don't know. I think like Cardano for Seniors can be the project and Eli 65 can be the backbone. But I think we need some kind of title that people will, because they're going to be like Cardano for Seniors. Like, what does that mean? The regular public.
Okay.
Well, that's
So-
why we have to set up a website.
Do you have a suggestion for a name, Teresa?
I don't.
Well, we are going to need another name.
I
At
mean,
least
cryptocurrency for seniors, maybe, or
I'm not
under-
saying get rid of Cardano for Seniors.
no, I'm not saying
But-
that either.
I think we're going to need 3 entities, correct?
That was one of the suggestions of the lawyers that I spoke to. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 2 names. Honestly, I thought Eli 65 was a nice title for the learning modules, but it can also be for the direct education platform. Now, Cardano for Seniors, is that the non-for-profit name? If there's a second entity, we need one.
I mean, Cardano for Seniors is direct. You know, people will identify immediately, you know, with everything, you know. Eli 65, then you have to explain it. You have to, you know.
Well, we
Okay.
put, and I think a second or a third entity will give us a little bit of pickup, maybe if we pick the right name in the Google search results. You know, obviously, we're going to have to do some outreach on this. Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms. And I think we have to sort of circle in and identify a very simple explanatory name for the second entity to sort of funnel traffic towards Eli 65.
My whole idea, okay, of getting the right name is to brand it and position it in the international market. And that what we have to really think about. That's, you know.
Yeah, and this is one of the challenges of setting up a company in the new world of cryptocurrencies.
Well, we certainly don't want to do what Chevy did and put a car out called the Nova and then introduce it to Spanish-speaking countries.
I agree. That's a no-go.
That is, yeah, that was a marketing faux pas for ages. But this is now the 4th or 5th week that we are discussing this. And we've still not come to conclusion. So it's kind of like holding up some of what we need to do, I think. And my thought process is on the foundation, the name is not as important as the marketing company.
So let me put Cardano for Seniors over Eli 65 and we come up with a foundation name.
Something like
agree.
that. You know, so what is, I mean, we could call it the, you know, the I don't know what we could call it. We could call it the Gray Hair Foundation. I'm stuck on that.
I understand. I do think it's, I do
Why
think it's
is
important.
for
go ahead.
seniors not a good name? Explain.
I think it is a good name. I just think we need a third name as well because we're setting up the foundation. I think Cardano for Seniors is our funnel into the various projects that are going to come out of this.
Right.
Cardano for Seniors presenting Eli 65. Cardano
Right.
for Seniors wallet. You know, whatever it ends up being. And I'm not saying we're going to set up a wallet or anything. That was just an example. But I don't think educating seniors stops at the education. You know, we're going to have to start showing them where to go. And I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah, you're on the right track. What do you think?
Marco,
Tom?
yeah, well, I'm just trying to get other people's input. Marco, do you have any suggestions for the foundation name? You're usually one of the creative ones.
Cardano for Seniors is the platform. It's our market that we're trying to attract,
Yes.
and it's got a great ring to it. All the subcategories, the Eli 65, the grays can all fall behind it and below it
That's what I think.
as learning modules. Cardano for Seniors is a home run.
Yeah. It's
I
a great
agree.
positioning marketing strategy. I mean, you can go on and on.
Okay,
Teresa, what do you think?
I just said, okay.
Oh, that was you with the okay? Okay.
I'm the only girl voice here.
I didn't have my hearing aids turned up.
You got to it before I did.
It was a soft serve, Kev. So Cardano #4 Seniors, like we have everything else,
Right.
foundation.
You got it.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay. Foundation. Now, what state do we want to do this in? And I don't know that it really matters for the foundation. We could
Yeah,
do
it
it.
doesn't matter.
We
So,
could do
you
it in
know,
Switzerland,
Delaware, Nevis, Switzerland,
Vermont, New York. I don't know that a what, Gus?
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Okay. How about Aruba?
No,
No.
no good. No good. You know why?
No, I don't.
Well, the IRS has an agreement with Aruba, you know.
I think the IRS has an agreement with Vermont, Wyoming, Montana, and
Oh,
Nevada.
oh.
I think they have
Um,
more.
Nevis is a great place to do it.
It's the foundation. This is the not-for-profit.
I
Well, it
I
really
don't know.
matter. It's a nonprofit anyhow, one way or the other.
Well, I think we'd have to take the advice from some experts on this one.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So let's
Table that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's table it.
at what one of those locations, which location would incubate the name better?
Florida.
Is there is Florida a better community to incubate that? Are we able to penetrate that market easier?
You know,
Eventually,
I would say as retirees go south, that's where the market is, but I don't think there are many southern states that have the infrastructure or the compliance regulatory to be able to regulate it.
No, as far as yeah, right. You're right, Kevin.
What about as far as just a local community being able to build at a local level?
Well, Marco, you live in Vermont, and that's one of the states that I believe can handle this.
Well, any state can handle the not-for-profit end. That's
Yeah, that's irrelevant. Getting the name and the momentum.
Hey, I'm a millennial. Vertical integration is the way to go these days.
Way to
So
go, yeah.
I'd say whatever state we're getting paperwork from, we keep it within that state. Why
And-
mess with different municipalities?
How about Wyoming?
Wyoming's another one.
Wyoming, they specialize in DAO, so might as well, get acquainted with Wyoming. They get acquainted with us.
Hello.
Yep.
Cardano4Seniors .foundation does anybody on here own that?
maybe. I don't know.
Somebody owns it.
Might be.
Yeah, Tom owns it. Okay.
He moves quick. We just voted on it. He did it. Seniors can move quick when they want to. And we have to make it as compelling for our members to move as quick.
Yeah, the problem is now I have to remember where it is.
Well, one of
That's
the
one
learning
of the
modules.
problems.
Ay,
Hey, Marco, you know some attorneys. Do you think we should do this in Vermont?
My network of people are here in Vermont. There's an advantage point.
And it
For
is
that.
it is one of the Dow states. It's one of the 4 Dow states that you can create an LLC if we're going to do it in the US.
I've lived in Vermont. I think it's a good place to establish a company.
You know, I think the differences between the Wyoming Dow and the Vermont Dow is just a matter of some taxes, and you don't have to worry about that until you make money. And I think Vermont's a great place to establish a company.
yeah, Ben and Jerry loves it.
Well, that's now owned by Procter & Gamble.
That's Unilever for a correction.
Unilever, sorry, yes.
So, yeah.
Talk about vertical integration.
Well, the wheel ain't broke.
We,
Okay.
But I think it'll also keep our compliance costs to deal with one municipality for all our paperwork needs.
right.
Okay. Next topic, since we're talking about formation and the need for the 3 entities, 1 foundation, not-for-profit, 2, a company to handle funds transfer so IRS can see the paper trail, and the 3rd being the stake pool operation or the front marketing company. Is actually running a stake pool. Marco thinks he may have someone that's interested, that has the technical capabilities. Hasn't spoken to him yet from an earlier conversation we had today, I don't believe. But apparently it's a very talented, computer-oriented young man. Again, wouldn't be a senior, wouldn't identify as a senior. Any updates on that, Marco?
There has not been an update. No.
I am going
Okay.
to put my HR hat on for a second. We couldn't not hire somebody because they're not a senior.
No,
Yeah.
I was saying that as a positive. It would be another young person involved in the team, which I think is great. It would be nicer if it was a young female person, so we have more gender diversity than just Teresa. But
We'll get there.
I'm inclusive to everybody. I just think the more we have different peoples, different ages, it's a better balanced
Right,
ecosystem
right.
all the way around.
Hey, Tom, are you referring to a stake pool operator?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I think one of the things that, we've discussed it, kicked it around, kicked the can. We haven't come to a conclusion. But I am putting in, and we'll get back to that right now, is the Fund 9 proposals that I've started writing. And we've kicked around independency from Cardano funding is one way, is doing a stake pool. And also as we start educating seniors, and if we can set up a safe place for them, as safe as possible in the crypto world, where they're earning 4.8% interest on their crypto investments. It could be our stake pool. And we also can do what's called the ISPO, an initial stake pool offering, and come up with a token for seniors, a governance token for the DAO. So the proposals that I have in so far, and if you guys could start looking at them, the proposals ends next week. I think I have about 7 days left to finish. Is C for S Cardano for seniors, C for S Carta Shift, C for S Hub, C for S SPO, an F10 challenge, C for S, and another one for an incubator, which is kind of a duplicate of the C for S. Now, the one is for hubs, to develop a hub system, and that's with the clubhouse, and that's a $50,000 ask that I have in, and that's the only one that I have complete so far. And that's for us to start doing clubhouse hours, like a coffee hour for seniors, a 5 o'clock somewhere hour for seniors, one for LGBTQ hour, and another one for ask the nurse about your pains and aches and stuff. No medical advice being given. And this is to start bringing in and building a community on educating them about crypto, DeFi, and Cardano along the way. So that's one grant. That is almost, I think it's 99% complete. If you guys could go in and look at that one, that's in the dApps. They're almost all in the dApps category because of the way challenge funds came out. Another one is, which I haven't written yet, and I was asking Kevin about it, is the Carta Shift. They're paying in a different token, a native token called CLAP. And they want an impact. They invited us, Carta Shift actually reached out and invited us, Cardano4Seniors, to put in a proposal in their ecosystem. I just don't know how we can be a measurable impact project. I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, measurable impacts are a measurable impact. I hate to use the same word. Carta Shift, great company. Okay. You look at IXO, for example, probably one of the companies, and I mean, it's right in the description of their own proposal, but measurable impacts, carbon credit trading, renewable energy trading, community tokens. How do you specifically attribute an impact to what we're trying to do? Now, educating seniors and onboarding a potential 4 billion over the next 10 years is a significantly measurable impact.
Okay.
I think because of the technicalities of cryptocurrency in the first, I'm not even going to say half or step of this chapter, which is where we're at right now. We're at the start of something new, but onboarding a potential 4 billion people in this world is a significantly measurable event. And if we do our jobs right, if we have the proper support of the community, if we give back to the community and connect ourselves like Carta Shift's trying to do with us, I think we have the potential to help onboard, educate, and demystify an entire asset class, an entire currency class. And as a millennial, potentially the currency that's going to take us into the next millennium.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. So that's
And-
something to look at, you know. I haven't done anything on that proposal because I've been focused on the hub proposal. So maybe Kev, you want to take that on?
I can do that.
You seem passionate about it. It would help take off on me. The other one is the SPO asking for a few dollars for equipment and some hourly wage if we get somebody, if we don't do outsource it. And then the 2 incubators, which are really to kind of set up a fund. So if you guys could go in and look at those. But I don't want to keep this recording. We're already over an hour, so I'd like to end the recording and just have a little after meeting when I end it. So anybody want to say anything before I stop it?